From the deep dark reaches of Star Trek Online comes Nikitas, Tabbytha, and Grebog with another episode of Fleet Action Report.
Welcome to Fleet Action Report, the show where we don't just play the game, but we teach you how to play the game. I'm Tabbytha, and over there, yonder, is Grebog.
This is episode 157, Grounded. Also, if you've noticed, we are no longer taking subs through Twitch, but you can support us through Ko-fi, which is just kofi.com/Grebog. We have a sub there set up that is the equivalent of what we would get. It saves you money and gets us the same amount of money. So, Tabby, how's your week been? What have you been up to?
I've been playing a ton of STO, like getting back up to my pre-burnout level, well, not the dangerously pre-burnout levels of STO that caused me to get burned out in the first place, but like my entertained levels of STO.
Oh, don't burn yourself out, though. That's, yeah.
Oh, no, actually, I'm doing other stuff enough to where I don't have time to burn myself out. But I literally spent all day, I think it was Monday. No, not Monday, Tuesday. It's all day Tuesday playing STO, and it was great.
Hey, I have a thing. We have a Ko-fi stream bot, sorry. And I triggered
Oh,
it.
hey, nice. But yeah, because I mean, I had to get ready for this show that we're doing. Getting grounded. What did you do to get grounded?
I don't know that I played as much STO this week as you did, because I mean, every time I turned around and was logging in, you were here doing stuff. I do know though, we ran a bunch of missions together on Wednesday night.
Yes.
The nights. Don't ask me what day it is. But yeah, so you know that was fun running together. Learned things about what to do, what not to do, and yada yada. Or I should say things about certain pieces not being as easy to acquire for multiples.
More
but
on
yeah,
that
we'll
later.
get into that. Outside of that, playing WoW. Let's see. WoW, we're still working on the final boss and heroic mode for the current tier raid. They did push a big patch this week for WoW. And so gear used to, if you were running mythic pluses, if you did a 16 or higher, you would get 441 gear. Actually, I think if you got higher, you can go to 443, 447, yada yada. You know, well, because people that are mythic raiders and whatnot, to make it a little more balanced and also make it so that way they normally like to closer to an end of a tier, add in a way to, I guess, power the players up a little bit more. And the method they did this time is if it came out of well, yeah, before it didn't have any upgrade levels. Now all the pieces, even the mythic piece, there's now a mythic section, and they can now upgrade to 447. So if you had a 441, you can now upgrade them 3 times. So I noticed how apparently my secondary character is going to end up being better geared than my primary, because he had more of the 441 pieces that are became upgradable. My other guy had gear that was upgraded to 441, but that's where the cap was, because it came from heroic. Oh wow. But yeah, we're not an STO or a WoW podcast. We're an STO show. So let's see, what else have I done?
Wait, we're not a WoW podcast? Oh shoot, I am on the wrong show notes.
I mean, I could probably do a WoW show, but you know, I honestly have debated it and realized I don't have. Well, there's enough other shows out there, and yeah, I don't know if people would want to listen to me. I don't know. I guess I'm doing an STO show. I don't know if people want to listen to me. I'll do it anyway. Or are we trying to be side by side?
No, I'm just wandering around. I keep wondering why I like keep targeting another player, and it's making me uncomfortable.
Don't target another player.
No,
Anyway,
I'm just standing here and like I keep occasionally targeting and like auto targeting another player, and it makes me uncomfortable.
let's see what else. That's been most of my week. I feel like I did take some more time for myself, I guess would be a good way to put it. I had noticed there are some intense people in various games and places, and it was really getting to me. I guess would be a good way to put it. It wasn't. I'm not getting. I'm not upset with them. I don't. I don't have a problem with them. Sure, they're intense. That's great. Whatever. I need time to
But were they
chill.
camping?
No.
You said they're
It's.
intense.
I mean, maybe they like to camp. But I just needed times. Yet I need some time to chill. Which is one thing I love about STO. You can do it at your own pace, level, all that. Anyway, let's get to this week in STO. Not a ton going on, but they did announce some things. Well, I guess some of it's old things that have been announced. The lifetime sub sale is still going on. You have until July 20th and 12 p.m. Pacific time to pick it up. It is 33% off, or basically it's $100 off, which means the price is $199.99. Still a hefty price tag. So
But tons of perks.
yeah, tons of perks. And if you're going to play this game for any length of time, I feel it's worth it.
Yeah, I think it like pays itself off, pays for itself after what, like 6, 7 months, something like that.
You get $5 a month in Zen. So,
But like on top of all the other stuff that you get, because you get ships and all kinds of other stuff. So like it probably, I mean, the payoff time is probably relatively short.
yes, if you were to buy everything that comes in it would cost you not quite the $199.99, but you then get a monthly stipend, $5 a month, that will accelerate that to, yeah. You'll get your money's back.
Summer event from June 28th to July 28th, which means we have just under 2 weeks left, which you need 20 days of progress. So if you have not started it, then you won't be able to finish it, but you can buy it out with low buy. So you can still start it, get some progress in on it, and cheapen your buyout cost. And have some fun while you're doing it too. I will be making it in just under the wire, so I have to make sure to discipline myself, make sure that I am responsible, and play this video game every day. Yeah. But your reward for responsibly scheduling in time to make yourself play this fun video game every day is the Hesperian Intel Battlecruiser T6. It's a scaling ship with the console, with the fire-breathing console. We've talked about it before.
They did just patch the console. Hey, morning, goofball. They did just patch the console. They shortened the cooldown, and then they also, because of that, means they had to reduce the damage to keep the damage over time. Like let's say they wanted they did a 10-minute window. That the overall damage would work out to be the same. So
they wanted to keep the DPS the same, The rate of damage is the same, so if they shorten the cooldown, then they also had to reduce the damage.
Yeah. So it should work well. I honestly having a ship that can fire breathe more often, much cooler.
Yes.
All right. So they also announced. I know you added something else into the show notes, and I'm not seeing that either. Weird.
The Vanity
OneNote.
Shield.
Yeah. Here, I'll do the bundle sale. And I'll get OneNote to sync things eventually. But
Well, I'll read off the Vanity Shields real quick.
okay.
Vanity Shields for dilithium, starting today at 8 a.m. Pacific time and going through July 17th. So only a few days at 12 p.m. Pacific on PC only. You can once again buy Vanity Shields in exchange for dilithium. 10 Vanity Shields, the Zenkethi Discovery, Ferengi Herc, Emperors, Section 31, Kelvin Divergence, Borg, Baul, and Zatvash. These are per character purchases for 280k dilithium. Wait, actually, no, that's the regular price. So it's I think it's cheaper at the moment. And all ships in the dilithium store are 20% off.
Wait, so they announced that ships are 20% off? Just ships?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Ships that cost ships in the dilithium store
cool.
are dilithium ships are 20% off. Okay, so yeah, the normal price for dilithium shields are 280k. With the discount, they are 238.
Though do note, our fleet discount does some of this too. So
yeah. Okay.
if you're not in a fleet, you may not see the 238k. But yeah. All right. They announced today a bundle sale that will go from July 13th today and go all the way to July 17th. This is only on PC. So all ship bundles are 35% off. And then also on top of that, all the mud bundles are coming back, or are back. I already checked. And then mud bundles are 50% off. So if you were debating one of the various mud bundles, 50% off is the time to pick them up, because otherwise you're paying too much. I still think it comes down to like $50 a ship. Roughly, yeah, because it's 14,750 for a mud bundle, and you can get 3 ships when you do that. So it's roughly $150. Normal price is $29,500 or roughly $300. And no, thank you. But yeah, I think that's the news.
All right, so on to primary target. Bridge officer ground setups. Tonight we are focusing on ground builds and are going into mainly what to do with your bridge officers to have the most success while running content. Now, which ones to get? Well, I'm primarily we went with the popular Team Space Princess off of build off of Reddit. I went with some slight modifications around going on a budget. And I think, Grebog, did you go with some options that were a little bit more pricey?
I don't know. Well, I stuck close to their build as I could. I can't remember. I know I looked at some things, and yes, they were pricey. And I went, I'll go another route, or I had someone craft it for me from my other account. So I did not buy much of anything for this on this guy because I can't afford it on this guy.
Okay, so you're gonna be budget, and I'm gonna be wish.com.
One of the things for the standard ice prints like this build, is that they recommend having one command engineer, one command science, one intel science, and one intel tactical. If you look at my stations here, that is how I have it set up. Though you'll notice that I don't actually need the intel science because I took advantage of my other account.
Yeah, the main reason why the Intel Science is there is for one single ability, and that's the commander slot of Frictionless Particle Grenade. The Team Space Princess Guide allows for the Intel Science character to have either Frictionless Particle Grenade or Cold Fusion Flash in their commander slot. So if you opt for Frictionless Particle Grenade in that commander slot, you will need that science buff to be Intel spec. If you don't want to worry about the Frictionless Particle Grenade, you don't need to worry about Intel spec for the science buff.
All right. So you might be curious on especially if you are new to the game or just don't think you have that great of bridge officers. Where
do we get some good bridge officers? Tell us, Grebog.
So some of the places you can get these, like you'll notice between Tabby and I think we have most of the free ones. Because Tabby has some of the ones I didn't. Actually, I haven't got them on all of them on this guy, but I do have them on my other tune. I grabbed some of the other ones. So like the Heirarchy Intel Science. Yeah, well, I put Intel Science because this is one of the ways you can get your Intel Science bridge officer
for free
without having to get a specialization training manual for them. And this comes from the Mission Alliances. Oh, I did not put the ARC.
Delta Quadrant.
Yeah, I was like, it should be Delta Quadrant. So that is a simple one. And then
unless you're running it with friends,
it seems to be a little wonky,
feature rich.
Yes, when running with friends, I maybe not always. We had issues of the warping in and out.
Because the mission sends you to different systems. You're supposed to go from one system to another, helping different people. Well, when we were there in a group, it ran into issues when, like, sending all of us to when it came time to transfer all of us to a different system.
One time it only sent one of us. One time it sent two of us. And yeah. and then to complete the mission, it only let one person complete. It was fine. I mean, it might be just better solo.
Yeah.
Okay. Another one is the Kobali command engineer. So this would mean that this is one way you can get your command. Yeah. You can get the command specialization that's for this build without another specialization manual. And this comes from the mission Dust to Dust, Nikitas's favorite mission. And they are inside.
Horrible.
They're inside the maze that you have to find them before you get out of the maze. Because as soon as you lower the walls, they teleport out and you cannot claim them. So you have to.
Yeah, they're stuck in a closet. So you got to find them, and you got to find them in the closet and talk to them, and they're like, "Oh, thank you for finding me," and then they join your crew.
Yeah.
And I mean, technically, you don't even have to finish the mission. Once you talk to them inside their little closet thing, they join your crew, and then you can just like screw off the rest of the mission. Just beam up, and you're done.
Yeah. As I didn't write down where this is Joula's, right? Yes.
Yeah, the Heirarchy engineer mission Beneath the Skin in
Jawula's
Jula's
Discovery.
Discovery.
And yeah, I don't think they come with the specialization. Even if it is, if they
No, it
do,
comes
it's
with
not.
temporal.
Oh, it comes with temporal, so it's not one that you would necessarily use for this build. However, if you're doing exotic particle build of space, that could help you out for some temporal powers.
Yeah, so if you
Anyway,
opted for this one, you would need to train it into the command.
yeah. If you are looking for a tactical officer, you can get a Jem'Hadar tactical officer from Mission Facility 4028. Now, this is one of I keep calling them hidden missions. It's because they are missions that they haven't removed from the game. They just removed the arc from the main arc list, and it's part of the second wave. I don't know if you all. I was like, I know we did a thing about the second wave a while ago, but yeah, if you can get to the facility 4028, you will get a tactical Jem'Hadar for yourself.
A Jem'Hadar to call your very own.
Then you can also get a Klingon engineer from the KDF recruit, and the goal that you have to complete there is the ambush kills. They are one of the special bridge officers, and I believe anyone, even Federation captains, can claim this one.
That's cool.
It's just that you have to have your Klingon recruit get the ambush kills high enough to unlock it.
Getting those ambush kills is kind of rough, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the next two come from reps, and if you're working on reps, which I highly recommend getting the reps done, just because there's other gear and stuff that you might want for various things.
Yeah, reps are pretty much required to do. I mean, why wouldn't you want to do reps?
Yeah. So there's a Borg science officer that you can get from Task Force Omega. You have to get to tier 5. Though apparently you can also get the accolade assimilated to also trigger it. How did I get this my Borg bridge officer's an engineer. How did I get I don't know. There must be another Borg bridge officer out there.
Or maybe there's two different ones.
Well, that's why I said there's another one out there that you can get. I don't know. Then you can also, the other rep one is, oh no, I guess there's more rep ones. Nellen Exel, he is standing here beside me. The Voth, and you can get him from the Dyson Joint Command Rep Tier 5. You do have to do at least the intro story to the Dyson Sphere before you can pick him up. I did not have that completed, so I had to run through that mission quick. And then I just had to do the quick story to trigger him joining us. You don't have to do anything outside of the intro, and then you can do his story arc. There is a photonic engineer that is from the Delta Recruit. I did not pick that one up. But I could. And then there's some fleet holdings. They have some various bridge officers that you can purchase from K-13, the Colony World, and the Research Lab, and the Embassy. The Embassy is where you do get your superior Romulan operatives. I don't know whether to call them pricey or not. Well, some people view them as pricey, some people do not. That's why I'm not sure what to call it, but for a newer account, I would probably put them in the pricier range, because you're going to need fleet credits and dilithium, and a good chunk of dilithium to purchase any of those from the different holdings. So So far, the
Yeah,
others have
I
been,
would definitely put them in the pricey range because it's a significant investment.
yeah. To me, the other like running missions and doing the rep stuff, you're going to probably more likely be able to. You can get those more quickly, but yeah. There are some event reclaims if you've been playing STO and doing the events. Um, there's things like we've gotten Marshall Janeway there, which is another science officer. We have Beverly Crusher hologram, which Tabby and I both have here. And then
Event
there's
reward.
also the Terran Beverly Crusher. Though I can't remember. Beverly come with the. I think Beverly came as Intel, didn't she?
No, she came as yeah,
Nothing.
I will tell you.
If she didn't come as Intel, she didn't come as anything because that's the only specialization I have on my
Yeah, she
Beverly.
came as Intel.
So,
I had to make her a command.
so she would be another option for an Intel without having to do an Intel training manual. So, yeah. Uh, I think so. Goofball. What he asked if the bridge officers were roughly around the same price as Vanity Shields, and I do think so. I think they're. Let's see, Vanity Shields are 238. I think they're just under 200. That was in dilithium. So, like I said, that's a big chunk. Um, and I can more spend my dilithium other ways. But so some
Yeah,
of the
I'm looking for that that Task Force Omega project that creates the Borg officer, but I'm not finding it. But I've confirmed that the one that was given by the Accolade is a science.
yeah. Well, see, I have in here. So for those that are looking at my Task Force Omega, I'm apparently working on gear for my bridge officers because I have two gear things slotted in my thing, so I can't see the list. But all right, so some of the things that in this setup for your engineer.
Oh, did you include the Phoenix Store ones?
Oh no, because
Yeah, you've
I'm
got there's three buffs that you can get from the Phoenix store. Each of them costs one ultra rare token, which aren't that difficult to get. First is a holographic Lita. She's an Intel tactical, so you can fill your tactical Intel needs right there. The other is a holographic Geordie LaForge. He's a standard engineer, doesn't seem to, well, I can't find a specialization listed. And then the other is a holographic EMH Mark I, who is a science, with an unspecialized science officer.
as I'm changing the notes. I'm adding in the stuff that the OneNote application has not been able to apparently sync into the. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's synced on my end.
No, it's my app on my app is not syncing to online. I'm just gonna have to probably start using just the web interface, which is fine. Just a little, yeah.
OneNote is highly disappointing.
It's fine. All right, so let's see. I'm just gonna close the app and keep the other note here. All right, we ready for powers then?
Give us the powers.
So for your command engineer, so see, I have 8 of 8. I'm going to go into their skills. I set them their default power, ground powers here. The ensign power is command. It's take cover. It gives your team some damage resistance. And then if an ally is crouched, you get more hit points, which typically when you're running around shooting stuff, you're going to crouch. Lieutenant slot is another command power, hammer and anvil 2. And this, if flanking, they get extra bonus damage. And if not flanking, gives all damage resistance rating. So it either gives more damage or more, survivability, which both good. The lieutenant commander is also another command power. This is return fire 1. And it does, this is more about more bonus damage, and also it does a reduction to all recharge timers. So very handy. And the final one, okay, so this power, if you can't find quantum mortar fabrication 2, there is a cheap alternative to go to support drone fabrication 2. I personally, my personal preference.
Quantum mortar fabrication 2 is available off the vendor.
It wasn't when I looked.
Yes.
Maybe I looked wrong. I don't know. Maybe it was. Is it quantum mortar 3? Maybe that's what I'm. I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking. But basically, yeah, quantum mortar fabrication 2 is the option I prefer, because it does if you've done missions and if you've noticed, sometimes the enemies get stuck behind walls, in walls, under stuff. I mean, it can happen.
Will get them.
The mortar it technically can hit them pretty much wherever they are. So eventually this can kill them. The support drone 2 is not a bad power. It just does not have the ability to get your enemies that are stuck in places that you can't get to. All right, the next one. Command Science. And that would be Nellen. He is my Command Science. Now, you notice a lot of this is about healing, because that's just the way a lot of people build their science ground. So you have medical tricorder 1.
Look at my screen.
At your screen?
Uh-huh.
Well, here, I'll make your screen bigger. I was running around doing all kinds. I don't know.
Yep, 10K on the. I'm on the space dock, bridge officer trainer, and training manual engineering, quantum mortar fabrication 2, 10,000.
Well, then I'll take my note out. But so for the Command Science, you're going to have the medical tricorder 1 in the ensign slot, which is again big heal, and then damage resistance. For Lieutenant, it's a tricorder scan. Again, it's more damage resistance. It gives some stealth strength, or it makes it so people can't stealth. Your enemies can't stealth as easily, and then also they get a higher perception, which means if you have an opponent that likes to go stealthy, they might be able to knock them out of the stealth, and yeah. Then the reason their command is for strategic analysis 2. This is in the lieutenant commander slot, and it is again more bonus damage and damage resistance. It's a pretty good power to have. And then the final command, well, the commander slot is the Nanite Health Monitor 2 standard science power.
That's
It's
going to be on
another,
both of your science buffs.
yeah. Both of your science bridge officers are set up almost identical except for the lieutenant commander slot. They are both basically there to help you mitigate, heal or mitigate damage. That is the point of science. Here I will go to Beverly. The one difference, like I said, is the lieutenant commander. Now this would be your intel science. While I have Cold Fusion Flash 3, which I got from a manual from my other account, the other option would be to go with the frictionless particle grenade 3. But if you don't go with frictionless particle grenade 3, if you go with Cold Fusion Flash, or there's even some other manuals.
I used Cryonic Pulse 2 from the Winter Event Store.
Yeah. It's very similar to Cold Fusion Flash. Probably not as powerful, but it still does very similar things. And it's easier to get a hold of.
The idea is a damage and knockdown or some sort of crowd control ability.
Here, I'm putting in the cryonic. Whatever. What would you say? Chronic?
Cryonic Pulse 2.
Pulse 2. I know I went through a lot of these powers. Like, oh, what else could we? And again, like I said, the other 3 powers, like the ensign, lieutenant, and the commander power, are all the same as the other. All about keeping you alive. Okay, our last up is our tactical. For those noticing, I am using Tarsi. She is the free tactical I got for completing the tutorial.
And the free tactical that they give you, the epic one or the purple one, is actually really good for every one of the characters.
Yeah. So you probably will do just fine. I did have to train her intelligence, but well, intelligence specialist. So for tactical powers, the ensign one, you're going with resonant tachyon stream 1. It is it basically is trying to knock down the shields of your enemies and then also give you shield regen and shield resistance on your side. So more survivability for you, also takes out shields of the enemy. Then we have Suppressing Fire 1, which is a standard tactical power for the lieutenant slot. This, again, makes it so that they won't move around much because it cuts their run speed down, and then reduces the damage that they can do, and then it has a chance to root them. So this is about crowd control, and yeah, if you notice a lot of these powers seem to be locking down the enemies, because if they can't do anything, they aren't going to hurt you. Then in the lieutenant commander spot, we have the frictionless particle grenade 3, and reduces damage resistance of the person hit, and then it says friction reduced. Create a 5-meter radius low friction patch, which means every second 20% chance to knock someone down. Think of essentially you're putting black ice down on the ground that they are just going to slip and fall. You're lubing up the floor for them.
Oh my.
dropping grease on the floor for those D&D players. Um, and then the commander power is another tactical ability, Overwatch 3, and this does more, increases your damage resistance rating, and when all allies receive all damage, 3% chance applying 8-second exposed to damage damage owner. Basically, you can expose the enemy. Yeah. So if you're working on doing the expose and exploit, this is a way to go. And then, it also has all damage. It reduces their damage resistance too, so they'll take more. That is their powers. So in the notes, I will have a TLDR list of what, if you were to go with all the things that was in this build, what manuals to pick up, what specialization, like the 2 specialization command, 2 specialization intel, all that stuff.
So we've got the bridge officers, we've got the skills. What do we equip them with?
Do we equip them with, Tabby?
Well, easy to gear to start with out the gate is either dropped or crafted. You get it from missions. Just easy stuff to get your hands on. Like you can chase endgame gear later on, but we're looking at stuff that you can just easily get and slap on your away team. Also, you don't want to invest too much stuff in your away team because, I actually discovered this the other day, and that once you get these powers and abilities on your away team, the gear really doesn't make too much difference. I actually had garbage gear on my away team, and I went through some really tough missions and without breaking too much of a sweat. So you really don't need to sweat the gear on your away team too much, unless you're looking to put gear on them that buffs you. So what you can go for, like some missions to look out for, is the Iconian War arc, Uneasy Allies. The Romulan Imperial Navy set gives you armor, shields, kit frame. Now, note for this one, we discovered this one the hard way. You can only have one of each on your character. Like even if you put the pieces on one of your bridge officers, you cannot claim a similar piece from the mission. You can't even redeem it from the. You can't even close out claim it from the mission and close out the mission. It won't let you. The mission will fail. Well, the mission won't fail, but if you try and claim it as a reward, the box will go away and it'll pop up again. So you can't do it. You can only have one of each item. We were highly annoyed to discover this.
I ran the mission twice to try to get the armor. Twice. And then it failed. Wow, yeah. I'm just like, whatevs.
Yup.
Or maybe
Baron Vizcopa makes a good point of, don't forget to upgrade your ground buffs. Otherwise, all these fancy powers that you're putting on them aren't going to do anything.
Well, yeah. You need
Baron,
to.
Baron, this is the Romulan Imperial Navy set from Uneasy Allies. You can only possess one of each item, period.
I had it on my engineer here, and when we completed the mission again, it didn't let me pick the same item again. It just wouldn't give me the item, gave me an error message, and said, "You already have one, bud. Try again."
Now, if you are on a free-to-play account and you don't have access to higher-end event rewards or anything like that, the Romulan Imperial Navy armor is some of the best armor that you can get, and you can upgrade it for free as you level. So it'll upgrade with you for free up to Mark 12. Next up, you have the Future-proof temporal front, the Nakul temporal operative set that has armor, shield, and weapon. And this one, I don't know if it's changed. As of the last time I ran it, you can actually have as many of each of these items as you want, because I actually punished myself by running this mission 10 times to equip myself and each of my away team with the armor and shield. But the shield itself is still best in slot for kind of like budget and freebie builds, because the Nakul temporal operative shield, once it gets to like what 5-10%, it makes it goes immune. It makes you immune and creates kind of like a secondary, kind of like whenever you're fighting a Nakul, they go immune and create like a secondary distortion that you have to kill. Well, it gives you that effect. Yes, goofball, I absolutely am. But yeah, so as far as I know, that mission can be run an infinite number of times, and you can acquire any number of those armor pieces. And the cool thing about that is that one is beneficial to have that set on a number of different on your away team, because it provides a team-wide buff. I think it's like a crit buff, like either a crit chance or crit severity buff, or maybe even both. I don't remember.
2 pieces, 2% crit chance, 30% crit severity, which is, I believe, unless things have changed, it's still the meta to have the shield and weapon for your main character, like your captain. You put the shield on, and then you put the weapon in the secondary slot that you're not going to use, because the weapon performance isn't great. You just want the 2-piece.
Yep, and then if you like go and get the Nakul armor and shield for your entire way team, then you have like multiple people generating that buff. I don't know how much it stacks, but like even if you have like if you go for some other sort of meta armor, then you can have at least one other of your away team generating that team buff.
You also might have some other problems if you're going to run it that many times.
Yeah, especially since none of the cutscenes in that mission are skippable. It's a long mission, it's a pain in the ass mission, and it has a ton of cutscenes and not a single one is skippable.
Yeah.
It is absurd. Okay, so another source of gear are reputations. There are a number of reputation sets. Reputations are easy. Reputations are like everybody's doing reputations. There are a few sets that you can do. The Omega Force set. This is one of the first sets that you can go to for equipping away team. Then you've got the Mako set. Competitive war games, those are actually the 2 sets that are recommended by the Team Space Princess Guide. You also have competitive war games, Nukaris Strike Force Refractive Set, and Iconian Resistance. And also not noted in the show notes, but noted in the TSP guide, the weapons that you'll want to go for with your away team are full auto rifles and split beam rifles.
You also found out the Phoenix stuff.
Oh yes. So if you are on a budget and you don't want to run Temporal Front a dozen times, and I wish I had known this before I ran Temporal Front a dozen times a couple years ago. If the Sompek Arena shield and blast weapon, you buy each of them once from the Phoenix store, one ultra rare token apiece. You can reclaim them for free an infinite number of times. So you'll have to fork over a bit of dilithium to get the Phoenix tokens. But the Sompek Blast Assault is a scaling weapon, which means you can slap it on your low-level away team right off the bat. The Sompek Personal Shield is a scaling shield, level scaling shield, which means you can slap it on your low B away team right away. Just claim it, put it on your away team, wait for the gray claim option to light back up, reclaim it, put it on your away team member, wait for it to light back up, lather, rinse, repeat until your away team is fully decked out in two-piece Sompek. It is hilarious to watch. I ran through a mission with all four members on my away team with the two-piece Sompek, and it's pretty entertaining.
See, I wish I would have known that sooner, because then I would probably have my bridge officers better decked out. But I will have one warning for people. If you go and purchase, so you can go to like the Fleet Starbase, and there is these very rare Mark 12 shields. They're advanced fleet personal shields. They aren't terrible. They don't cost too much on the dilithium side. However, if I go in here, and you'll notice upgrade and re-engineer being grayed out's not a super shocker, but the upgrade is grayed out. You cannot upgrade these at all. So even though you may not have the stuff to upgrade them right now, it would still be nice to be able to upgrade them later to get them to Mark 15, like every other piece of gear that you're probably going to put on them. But I would probably avoid the Fleet Starbase advanced fleet personal shields just because of that factor. They're going to eventually get replaced with something I can make Mark 15.
Oh, also the Sunkatse gloves from the Phoenix store, those are also like account-wide reclaimable. So go ahead and buy them now at your leisure. And like next time you're faced with that Coliseum mission, don't go through it with a crappy white or gray melee weapon. Use your Sunkatse gloves.
Or if you have the Torchbearer set, you have a Batleth that you can use. You probably noticed there is some other ways to get more power out of your bridge officers. And I think Baron was trying to hint at some of that. Well, yes, you need to do the career and promote them up so you can train them and whatnot, and they use all their powers. There is this upgrade. It is an elite bridge officer training token. The one my personal thought is it's not needed. Well, yes, it will give them a kit module slot, another device slot, and then you can start training them traits. I still don't think it's needed. If you're running missions, they should be probably fine for the most part without it. But if you do, like I said, it gets you a kit frame slot, which some sets, they have kit frames as part of the set, which means you could get another set bonus going.
Yeah, if you start to head into like min-maxing, or just like refining your build at all, what Baron was saying absolutely applies. Like going for the tokens, going for like hive mind traits and stuff like that. Those like absolutely apply. I mean, they're a little bit out of scope of what we're covering here, but it's definitely worth looking into.
Yeah. And hive mind is, if you can afford it, it's one of the best ground traits there is.
Absolutely.
Wow, I think that's pretty much everything. And we've been live for an hour. Do we want? I wish there was an easier way to show up. I guess we could just run around here and kill random stuff together.
I mean, we could, yeah. Like, is there a place where there's hard stuff to kill? Oh, we could go where the worms.
Sure. Yeah. A lot of the grounds, I just mentioned a few of the ground sets, some of the ones that have heard noted as being some of the better ones, though I also have not kept up with the ground sets ever since I don't know. I haven't had a problem with my ground stuff, but it's fine. But like Goofball saying, Lucari for healing, Omega for offense, Delta and Iconian. Yeah. I know I some of them used to be the meta for what you would use as a player. Things obviously over time have changed.
Yeah, and the Team Space Princess guide has not been updated in years. And so like one of the things that we were like trying to like thinking about when we were like putting together the show note is the fact that it is kind of outdated. But like when we were like looking at like budget and like leveling and budget considerations, a lot of the fundamentals haven't really changed.
Yeah. I mean, the goal is to keep your enemies kind of under control and yeah. And make sure that you're surviving. Oh, my people are stuck fighting the one that's way off in the back. Hello?
Yeah, my character here is like my character here has nothing reputation. Like she's only like she just dinged level 52. Like her reputations are 0. So she literally only has free player reputation, free player mission gear and crafted stuff.
I have also pretty much, well, okay, this is my free account, so I don't spend as much time on it as my main account. So I typically don't, I don't have as much of the stuff that I would have, say, on my main account, like EC or Zen or spent all that time with through all the various events. Because like they've given us ground sets here and there from various events. This account I created much later, so I don't have like the Kumarke set. I don't have the Klingon Imperial. I can't remember what they called it. It was some kind of Imperial set.
You know what I discovered is hilarious? Equipping your entire away team with the full Kumarke set.
I got annoyed with that after a bit.
Yeah, but like you're in, like the Symphony of Lightning, like the kind of like the lightning strike ability, like your entire away team like firing that off at like every opportunity, nuking every enemy that you come across is amazing.
While it is, what got me is I couldn't turn down the audio. I wanted to disable the effects audio or turn it way down, and I without just turning down overall game, I just it just got too much for me. Yeah, it overwhelmed my ears, and
yeah, and all the pink, like all the fucking pink.
I like pink and all, but there's at times too much pink. But Any questions about things we've presented? Any comments, tips, guides? Goofball and Baron have been helpful tonight. I appreciate that. So next week's a week. We're still looking for more people, so feel free to reach out to me or Tabby or yeah.
I'm beaming back.
I'm beaming back before I get into combat again. Next week we're celebrating a 3-year anniversary for the show. For those that haven't figured it, who didn't know, this being episode 157 means that if you think about it, with 52 episodes in a year, so 157 is technically the first episode of the 3rd year. However, because Nicodemus couldn't be here, he had to work. We wanted to make sure that all 3 hosts could be here, so that way we could celebrate with everybody.
Aww.
So next week we will be celebrating our anniversary. We're probably going to do some. It's sort of become a weird tradition now, where on our anniversary we just run around and shoot each other. We do PvP. We're bad at PvP. The goal is to just have fun with it.
Yeah, unskilled, uncontrolled PvP.
Don't.
None of us are good at PvP.
Yeah. If you are looking for some just random fun PvP, not the competitive. I mean, sure, some people might be a little competitive and, oh, hey, we won. Yay. But, yeah. We're not about rubbing people's faces in it because we all know that where we stand on PvP. If we were to go up against real PvPers, we'd get wrecked.
I mean, I might rub Grebog's face in it when I kill him, but I mean that's about it.
I mean, if we were in, I guess there's sort of a way to we could sort of teabag.
Oh God.
Or I guess for some people, clam slam.
Oh God.
Hey, someone wants to okay, obviously, some people can't teabag because they don't have the right parts. So what do you call that?
I'm moving along.
Yeah. Anyway, my brain is random. Sorry. Yes, it's been a great year. Thank you all for making it a great year. If you want to help participate, just reach out for me, Tabbytha. You can find me, Real Grebog, in the game. Friend me. Also, at Nicodemus is in the game. You send him a message.
I am Tabbytha 4626 because I must apparently have a numerical designation.
Yeah. And reach out to one of us. Let us know that you're interested. I will try. I'll try to get some people from various areas. I guess we pick a time to do the show that not a lot of people are available. So I guess that's unfortunate, but we'll try to we'll still have some fun. We'll still have people in here extra, and we'll have a fun time with it. I will say one thing. Have a shuttlecraft ready. Yes, we're going to do shuttlecraft PvP. I am throwing that out there.
Oh yeah.
Why? Because I think it's going to be hilarious. But yeah, it'll be 10 p.m. Eastern. If some people show up late, you can still join in, But yeah. 10 p.m. Eastern. Thursday, we'll also be doing our fun night, 10 p.m. Eastern. On Monday. Let's see here. There is sort of a special event coming up at the end of the month. We might be doing something special on the 31st, maybe? I have to check the schedules and whatnot again. But yeah. Once everything's definite, I'll have news. We'll let you know about that. Anything you have firm, Tabby?
I am going to be doing. Let's see. I've got to look at my schedule because I'm gonna be taking a trip, but I might still be able to. I'll probably still be. I will still be able to do fleet action report things because that doesn't require a camera.
Cool.
We'll probably have the laptop available, so I'll probably still be able to help with that.
I to clue you in on what I'm talking about, what's coming up. Yeah, I sent you a DM. Well, hopefully the trip will be fun, relaxing. Yeah, ma'am, you could reclaim it at any time. I'm sure of it. But anyway, I think that's the show.
That is the show.
We'll give our final words here, but stick around. We will raid somebody after once I get the recording stopped and all that. Thank you again, everyone that came in, listened, chatted. Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone. Have fun. Be safe. Don't set yourselves on fire.
Live long and prosper, everybody.